What would you do if you got an inquiry for $1 million project? Do those even exist? Just 3 months ago, we actually got our first inquiry just like this, and I want to tell you all about it. I know what you're thinking. What kind of project can be $1 million project? And no, it's not making a movie in Hollywood. I got an email from a PR agency local here in town, and they were bidding out a project for the state of California, doing a 5-year project creating videos to promote community colleges. And they were in the RFP process, which is request for proposal, to bid out this project. And so we got on a phone call and we started talking through what the needs for this project were, and they had hundreds of videos that were going to need to be created over 5 years. And it was going to be a budget of somewhere between $240,000 per year to $400,000 a year. So if you do the math, that puts you somewhere in the ballpark of just over $1 million to almost $2 million for the project. But we had a great conversation, and when we were in that conversation, we started pinpointing what some of the specifications and needs for this project would be. And that's where we had to get into the nitty-gritty of, can our video production company actually handle this? So now that you know some about the project, I want to tell you about some of the challenges that we needed to consider when trying to book this project. And the first one is we would need to scale our company. At the time that we got this inquiry, we had a 2-person team. I ran the company by myself for many years, and last year in September, we hired our first employee. And we've been trying to slowly grow the company past being a owner-operated business. But for this project, they were not going to allow subcontractors. It needed to be all in-house team. So that meant that 2 people were not going to be able to cover the amount of videos and filming and projects that we needed to do for this client. So the next challenge is this project being so large, it would actually represent somewhere between 50 and 80% of our business, which is a dangerous thing to do. And the reason it's dangerous is, one, let's say that for whatever reason, even though we had a 5-year contract, 1 year down the road, 2 years down the road, budget gets cut, or they decide that we're not the ideal partner to do this project. That ends up cutting a huge portion of our revenue, and all of a sudden, our team of 4 or 5 people, we end up having to lay them off because we can't keep that kind of overhead. And that's not an ideal situation. Whenever you can, you want to try to keep your projects and your clients not at such a high level of percentage of your business, because that can drastically impact your business if they leave. The last challenge is, the larger the project you have, the higher risk and or expectations there are on you. One of the reasons that as a production company, I've never aspired to do like Nike ads or really huge TV ads is there's so much weight on that project. When you have a $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 budget, or like this project, $1 million budget, there's a lot of weight on potentially one video. And for this one, it's many videos. So you just need to be ready for those expectations to be put on you. And can you handle that weight of their expectation? All right, by now I'm sure you're like, Greg, get to the point. Did you book the project? Are you a millionaire? The answer is no. We didn't book the project, but honestly, I'm not upset about it. And here's a few reasons why. The first reason is it would have been a big challenge to scale that quickly, but not only that, it would have really impacted my work-life balance. So I have 3 kids and a wife, and for me, it's very important that I spend as much time with them as possible. On days that we're not filming, I try to work from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then get back so that I can spend time with my family. And this project would have probably added more travel. It would have added a lot of things that would have complicated things. And the second reason I'm not upset we didn't book this is it was a great mental exercise for me as a business owner. I had to think through, how could we actually solve this problem? This is a challenge. And the more that we can problem solve as business owners, the better it's going to make us as a business owner, the better our business is going to be. And so I had to think through, how can I scale a company? How can I hire someone quickly? I got to talk to my employee, Matt, and ask him, Do you have any people in your network that you think would be a good fit to add into our company who potentially could jump in quickly? So now at this point, as I still do want to scale my company, I feel like I'm better prepared on how I can start adding people to the team than I was before this inquiry. Sometimes being pushed outside of your comfort zone prepares you for bigger things than you were ready for, but then it gets you ready for maybe it's not that scale, but to scale up at a different level. So at this point, I'm honestly curious, what's the biggest inquiry that you've received? And did you book it? I'd love for you to leave that in the comments down below because I want to learn about your journey as well in video production. And if you want to learn more, you can learn about how we built our business into a 6-figure video production company up here, and check out some of our other videos down here. Until next time, we can't wait to see you and see you in the next video.